Well, the cancel culture. With me saying that, you probably already know what this video is going to be about, what this vlog is going to be about. And I have to apologize for the sound in the background, but I live by a road. And it gets very annoying when you got heavy trucks and motorcycles driving by, so yeah, maybe I shouldn't sit down. Maybe I should just get up and walk around, hopefully get as far away from the road as possible so you can hear me and what I'm trying to say. So, the cancel culture. I've been hearing a lot about the cancel culture ever since the beginning of the year, and I've heard a lot of things about how Dr. Seuss books are going to be taken off the shelves because they promote some form of racism, and I think it's the same thing with a book by Mark Twain having something to do with something called Huckleberry. You know, I'm not really knowledgeable when it comes to Mark Twain. I don't really read his work. I'm somewhat familiar with him, but I don't know too much about him and his work. But what I wanted to talk about was something about Pepe Le Pew, because as a kid growing up in the 90s, I have watched 90s cartoons. Well, actually, Looney Tunes is not 90s cartoons. I watched those reruns of cartoons from the old days in the 90s and early 2000s. And the Looney Tunes were one of those cartoons that I used to watch all the time as a kid growing up. So I am familiar with Pepe Le Pew. So what I've heard is that there's supposed to be a sequel to Space Jam coming out, and Pepe Le Pew's not going to be in it. And I don't know if it's Netflix or, I can't keep up with all of these, apps that show us our favorite TV shows and our movies, because I'm an old-fashioned kind of a guy, I like to watch movies and TV shows on DVD. And one of the reasons why I do that is because they're mine. Every DVD that I own, if it's a horror movie, if it's a sitcom, if it's a romantic comedy, whatever it is, it's mine. I can watch whatever I want to watch. And if somebody doesn't like what I'm watching, well, they can just get out of my house. So, pretty much, Pepe Le Pew, they're trying to get rid of Pepe Le Pew because they consider him to be like, I don't have the right words in my mind, from the article that I read on Yahoo, but he's supposed to be like a role model for the rapist culture or something like that. And when I read that, I was chuckling like, because that is ridiculous, because in all the years that I've seen Pepe Le Pew in the cartoons, he never once raped anybody. Not one character he raped. Just nothing that looked like rape to me. And basically, there's this guy, I think what's his name again? Oh yeah, I think the guy's name is Blow. That's his last name, Blow. I am not joking with you. His name is Blow. And I think he works for the New York Times. He tweeted, I think it was Twitter, he tweeted something where he said that Pepe Le Pew is a character who teaches young boys who watch him on TV to pursue a girl who's not interested in you and just keep pursuing her and pursuing her, like he was trying to say that Pepe Le Pew encourages little boys to grow up to be stalkers. And, the whole thing is just ridiculous. I can't think of any words to describe how stupid that is, but anybody with a brain should already know how stupid that is. Each and every one of us, from the beginning of the 20th century, well, I don't know when the Looney Tunes first came out. I want to say it was like maybe 1930s, 1940s. I have to study history again to make absolutely sure. But sometime in the early to mid 20th century, the Looney Tunes came out. Anyone who has watched the Looney Tunes ever since the first Looney Tunes cartoon show came out, you should already know that this whole notion about, Pepe Le Pew being some sort of role model for rapist culture and teaching young boys to grow up to be stalkers, to just relentlessly pursue the girl that you like, even if she doesn't like you back. It's like I said before, mere words cannot explain how stupid that is. This cancel culture thing is getting out of control. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting to the point to where, do you know what they did at Disney World not too long ago? For those of you who have been to Disney World in Orlando, Florida, I'm sure some of you are familiar with a very popular attraction called Splash Mountain. Guess what? Splash Mountain isn't there anymore. they changed it to where now the theme of the ride is the Princess and the Frog. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people who are not really happy about that because, they've always loved Splash Mountain. It's probably it was one of the most popular rides in Disney World. And people are probably not happy about that. The reason why they changed the ride is because, it had characters that pretty much goes back to that controversial Disney film. I think it's called Song of the South. And that's a Disney film that existed years ago. And, you can't see it on TV anymore. You can't even find it at a video store, if video stores even exist anymore, because they say that it's a racist film. I've never seen it myself. Which should obviously tell you that, you can't find it anywhere. At least nowhere where people would expect to find films, where they would go to a store, buy a movie on VHS or DVD. That should tell you how old-fashioned I am. I said VHS. VHS, I was born in the 90s, and, I think DVDs and DVD players, they came out like maybe, I don't know, late 1990s, because I remember that there was a commercial about it in the preview to the movie Batman and Robin, starring George Clooney as Batman and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Anyone who has ever seen Batman and Robin and had the VHS, had the movie on videotape, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so basically Disney wanted to change the ride because, it had those characters from a movie that was controversial because it was a racist film, according to the people who, wanted it taken off the movie shelves, the videotape shelves. Now, I don't know what year that film came out, Song of the South. I don't know how long ago it was. But I'm sure that ever since Disney World was developed in 1971, I'm sure that ride, Splash Mountain, was always there. It was always there. And I'm sure that Song of the South, it existed long before the Disney World Resort in Orlando ever existed. I'm pretty sure that even before then, like I said, my history is really rusty with this kind of stuff. I spend so much time, studying books for my classes, for my online education, that, I work all the time at my job, and I'm working really hard with my education. I don't really have the time to do the independent research that I really like to do, because I'm trying to move forward in my life. I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree to move on to go to graduate school so I can, pursue the career that I want to pursue. And it's not really easy considering the fact that I'm dyslexic. I have to read certain things over and over again before I finally get it all into this head. And then when I take the quiz, I got at least a B on it. I'm pretty much just rambling on and on. Basically the idea behind this vlog is just to say that, this cancel culture nowadays, it's getting out of control. They're taking Dr. Seuss books off the shelf. They're taking Mark Twain books with Huckleberry somewhere in the title or in the book off the shelf. And now they're going to take Pepe Le Pew out of the wonderful world of Looney Tunes, for one stupid reason after another. Because they either promote racism, they promote sexism, they promote rape culture, they promote stalking behavior, whatever it is. And it's just so stupid. I mean, do I really need to explain? I don't honestly know how to explain it. But do I really need to explain it? Do I really need to explain how stupid it is that Dr. Seuss books have racist content in its pages? Green Eggs and Ham, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Morton Hears a Who, The Cat in the Hat. Do I really need to explain how stupid it is that one of America's most beloved cartoon characters is probably not going to be seen on TV or Netflix or whatever anymore because he obviously promotes rape and relentlessly pursuing a girl that you're interested in, but she's not interested in you. Really, do I need to explain how stupid that is? You know, if this cancel culture thing just keeps going on and on with everything that it's advocating for or advocating against, we're going to wind up living in a world where we can't watch anything on TV anymore. You know, it's bad enough that we live in a time period where some of our favorite TV shows, you know, cartoons and sitcoms, soap operas, are hardly on TV anymore for one reason after another. It's bad enough that some of the shows that some of us grew up watching when we were children, and even spending time watching with our families in the family room, it's bad enough that some TV shows are just not on anymore because everyone feels like when it's time to change, it's time to change. But at the rate that all of this is going, I honestly feel that, you know, we're going to get to a point where we're not going to be able to watch TV anymore because there is literally nothing good on TV anymore. All the good shows are gone, and all the characters that we've come to know and love, they're not there anymore. And why? Because the radical left, those Democrats that are running our country right now in Washington, D.C., they are persuading people to advocate against certain characters on TV because in their minds, well, I'm not sure they even really believe it or not, but they probably just go with it because they're trying to change the world to make it what they want it to be. You know, they're saying this character's got to go because this character promotes racism. This character's got to go because this person represents sexism. This character is a misogynist character. Misogyny. This character promotes rape. This character promotes, you know, stalking. Seriously. So incredibly stupid. Here's the question that I have. What's the world going to look like in 10 years, or maybe even 20 years, with everything that's been going on? You know, what's going to happen? What's America going to look like? You know, I just got this terrible feeling that, you know, this country may eventually become a bleak country, that it's not going to look as colorful as it did before. You know, the way it used to look in the 90s, the way it used to look in the 2000s. You know, the world that we know, the America that we know will probably be no more. And, you know, I hate to see that happen. You know, this whole cancel culture thing, it's gotta go. The cancel culture has just got to go. There's no other way to say it. That's the best way I know how to say it. The cancel culture just has to go. Because if the cancel culture doesn't go, we are going to live in an America that is boring and bleak, depressing. You know, we can't enjoy our lives the way we used to anymore because everyone says that's racist, that's sexist, that's misogynistic, that's this, that's that, and just, ugh. Well, I think I pretty much said everything that I need to say in this vlog, so I'm just going to end it right here. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye and God bless.